Senator Zaslow, Senator Norman, Senator Howell, Senator Lucas, Senator Edwards, Senator McDougal, Senator Stewart, Senator Stanley, Senator Reese, Senator Chapin, Senator Deeds, Senator Sterling, Senator Rumsfeld.
Thank you very much. Before we move to this time, I want to welcome everybody this morning. We are going to start out without a timer. We're going to try to move rather efficiently through this docket. We have a heavy docket as always, and it's going to be a challenge to get through it during the course of this short session. Patrons and witnesses, you will be understanding. I appreciate it. Witnesses, please understand that we're not trying to be rude and cutting you off. We just have been talking about these bills, and we certainly want to hear what you have to say, and we will listen to what you have to say. However, we would encourage whatever economy that you can muster in your comments in support of or in opposition to legislation. First of all, we've got a number of bills that probably need to be redirected. First is Senate Bill 848 dealing with naloxone, which needs to be re-referred to the Ed and Health Committee. Second is Senate Bill 920 dealing with local government tax and liens, which needs to be re-referred to the local government committee. Third is Senate Bill 939 dealing with the Line of Duty Act, which needs to be re-referred to the Finance Committee. Fourth is Senate Bill 1004 dealing with tolls, which needs to be re-referred to the Transportation Committee. Fifth is Senate Bill 1189 dealing with water liens, which needs to be re-referred to the local government committee. And sixth is Senate Bill 1217 dealing with negotiable instruments, which needs to be re-referred to Commerce and Labor. Is there a motion to make those three referrals in line? So moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, those are re-referred. Also without objection, unless there's an objection, Senate Bill 823, Senator Wexton's bill will go back here today, and as before, we encourage patrons not to ask for bills to go back today, but if for some reason you need them to go back, we'll think about it once, and if you need more than 2 days, just ask for it, and we'll try to accommodate you on that as well. First, we've got Senator Evan on the sign-up sheet, Senate Bill 782. Senate Bill 782 deals with marriage and deals with the issue of the language in our statute, which is inconsistent with the rulings of the Supreme Court. And it has been last year, and it would be my hope that this year we would avail ourselves of the Code Commission's ongoing project review and make the code consistent and refer this bill to the Code Commission. But Senator Evan, we certainly would be happy to hear from you.
Thank you. And I'd like to explain why this should not be part of the Code Commission study. The Code Commission sent us a letter that they did not want to study this bill, this particular bill, along with others. The Code Commission's review is of a bill that says that it has to do with the terms for marriage, where it says husband and wife in the code, in a variety of areas, from inheritance to real estate, joint tenancy in common, to inheritance, artificial insemination, adoption, that complex thing throughout the code. What this would do is merely bring us into conformance with the law of the land based on Obergefell versus Hodges, which held the fundamental right to marry is guaranteed under the Equal Protection Clause and the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. And it's been the law of the land in Virginia since 2014 from the Bostic versus Schaefer case. So we've got to accurately reflect the law of the land. The Code Commission felt that this simple part of the of that issue did not need to go to them. They sent it to us once, sent it back. We don't really need to make it a ping pong game. But when we had dealt with Loving versus Virginia in the 1960s, it took the General Assembly just a year to fix the code to bring it into conformance. So with that, I think it's important that we just deal with it and make Virginia's code reflect the law of the land.
My understanding is that there was not a full complement of the commission. I think that they are still open to taking that up, but if there are people who would like to be heard briefly on this bill, I think that we all understand it and understand your argument. Anybody in favor of this, please step up. Anybody in opposition? Yes, sir.
Senators of the committee, my name is Nicholas Cody. I'm president of Right Way Forward Virginia, which is a nonpartisan libertarian advocacy organization. We urge you to support this legislation. It is important to bring Virginia law in line with Supreme Court ruling on same-sex marriage. I'd like to bring to your attention that 60% of millennial Republicans support same-sex marriage, and frankly, it is time. So please support this resolution.
Very much. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Scott Price. I'm here representing the Alliance for Progressive Virginia. We support this bill, and we would hope that you would not send it to the Code Commission. We need to change the law now. We don't need to wait any longer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator.
If I might just have a final word, sir, to your argument that there was not a full complement of the Code Commission. That was the vote of the Code Commission, and when there's a vote of this committee, you don't say that 4 members were absent. And I think that it's a really simple policy decision, and that's why the Code Commission said that they would not deal with it or didn't need to deal with it.
Mr. Chairman, with all due respect to Senator Cutting, and having just been through this semester during my law school, intimately familiar last year with the Oberfeld decision, I would respect to move that we refer to that back to the Code Commission for their consideration and full confidence.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? No. Motion please. Thanks, Senator. Thank you. And I would hope that I will be writing a letter and I will urge the Code Commission to take it up. Senator Cosgrove. Senator 790.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll make the day a little easier. We can start with Senate Bill 794. I don't want to go on today. I just wanted to go by. So you can strike this.
Strike that bill.
Yes, sir, because we're going to comment on the Supreme Court.
All right. Without objection, Senate Bill 794 will be stricken.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The second bill is Senate Bill 790. This is a fairly simple bill that has a fairly large impact. This bill would actually create a hate crime for anyone who assaults or kills a first responder in any way, either if they're on duty or because of their profession when they're off duty. Currently, it's a platform mission to assault a police officer, but the same hate crime protections are given to people of color, orientation, and many other things. And the way we suffered through a bunch of killings this year, random killings of police officers, firefighters, sheriff's deputies, I think this is protection worth taking. I will say one other thing, there is a $50,000 fiscal impact on this. I have put in the agreement.
This is similar to the bill that was offered last year, and here's the issue, if I can boil it down for you. It doesn't provide that it covers killing because of or injury because of somebody's police officer to acknowledge of it. So you get in a fight with your landlord who happens finance committee. It's got to go to the anyway.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I was actually talking to the representative from Commonwealth Attorneys, and he brought up the same point. We need to make it clear in the code that basically any of this allowance has to be premeditated and based on that first responder's profession. And I appreciate your attitude. Thank you.
Anybody who will speak on this bill? All right. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Wayne Arden, State Police Association, for the reasons that have been articulated, for the reasons that we've seen repeatedly in the media over the last several months, including here in Virginia, we wholeheartedly support what the Senator is trying to accomplish. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I'm John Jones with the Sheriff's Association. We support the bill.
Mr. Chairman, Ed Rose with the Virginia Fire Chiefs Association and the arson investigators and also the Fire Prevention Association, and we support this bill also.
Thank you. Anybody else in favor? Hear the opposition.
Mr. Chairman, Claire Guthrie, asking out on behalf of the ACLU of Virginia. We've shared some deep reservations we have about this bill with the patron. This is a bill that essentially says that you can be punished based on status. One of the reasons for the penalty enhancements, obviously, is that if someone is injured or killed in the course of their employment, the injury is not just the individual, it's the entire system and the law enforcement community. And that's the way the law exists now. If you take the requirement that the person be in the course of their employment, then you have a situation in which there can be a barroom brawl where somebody spits on a police officer knowing that that person is a police officer, and they would be guilty of a felony even without injury. There are all kinds of situations like that, potentially a domestic situation where somebody knows that the person is a public safety officer, is angry at them, and shoots them, a wife or a family member, and that would mean that the enhanced penalties would apply. We don't think this is the right direction for us to go, and frankly, we think that applying this capital murder statute would raise some pretty serious constitutional questions about the constitutionality of the statute itself. So we would encourage you not to support this bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the committee, Virginia Podboy with Virginians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty. I would join our remarks with what Mr. Castaneda related to the committee, and we see this as an expansion of the capital statute, and we're deeply opposed to that. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Jeff Caruso on behalf of the Virginia Catholic Conference. We too oppose this bill. It would expand the circumstances under which someone would be eligible for the death penalty. Since 1976, our state has executed more individuals than any state other than Texas or Oklahoma. We think we should be going in the opposite direction and looking at how to curb the death penalty instead of expanding it further. We have life without parole sentencing and maximum security prisons, and we believe that's the way to protect society, not expanding the death penalty. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? John, final word?
Yeah, just final word, Mr. Chairman. I can appreciate everyone's sentiment here, but we have to understand the tragedy that this country has gone through in the last year. We can cite Dallas, we can cite many other areas where police officers, firefighters, sheriff's deputies were killed randomly and wantonly, even if they were not on duty. Mr. Chairman, we need to extend the same rights to our thin blue line that is given to everyone else in this category. So if you would give me the opportunity to take this on the finance, I'll work on it with the parties.
We'll see whether it gets over that hump first. Is there a motion? Senator Stewart.
Mr. Chairman, I would just point out that Claire is the nail on the head here, but with the understanding that we're going to work on to get the language right, I feel like we have to do something because the climate under which these police officers have been operating is very scary to me and him, so that I think that will be reported and moved for some time.
Say that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senate Bill 895.
Now, Senator, Senate Bill 895 deals with psychiatric hospital admissions. My understanding is that this bill has been looked at, and you may have a very good point. Why don't you go ahead and explain it?
Yes, very quickly, Mr. Chairman, this legislation would remove the prohibition against hospitalizing an inmate being held in a local jail who already has been ordered to receive treatment in order to restore his or her competency to stand trial. So here's the problem. You have been sent to jail. The judge has ordered you committed to a state psychiatric facility to restore your competency, and that could take several weeks. You are in jail, you're decompensating, your mental health situation is getting worse, you're becoming a danger to yourself or others, and right now the law prohibits you from being a TDO being issued for you to go to another psychiatric facility to ameliorate your mental health situation, pending the restoration of competency that the judge has previously ordered. This puts an undue burden on local jails, and I think this is a very necessary glitch to fix in our system, and that's essentially what the bill does. I think it is supported, Mr. Chairman, if I might. My understanding by the FOP, the Chiefs of Police, the Virginia Association of Commonwealth Attorneys, NAMI, which is the National Alliance for Mental Health, and the Sheriff's Association. I think this is a good bill. It's time to fix this glitch in the system so that we can make sure that jails are not in a situation where they're having to provide mental health treatment to individuals who are getting ready to go off to deal with their competency issues.
Well, it sounds like a very good idea. Senator Lucas, you've got Senate Bill 935, which is very similar.
That is correct, Mr. Chairman, and the genesis behind the bill, of course, has been the death of the two inmates at the Capital Regional Jail within the city of Portsmouth. So that's the reason why the bill can be used.
And Mr. Chairman, if I might, if I could roll my bill into Senator Lucas's, I think that would be appropriate.
That would be fine. Anybody wish to, anybody feel the need to speak in favor of the bill? Mr. Jones has moved to speak in favor of the bill.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. This is a very important bill. It is really a good bill. The only way you can really put an emergency call on it.
Thank you very much. Anybody else, anybody in opposition to the bill? Is there a motion? So the motion would be to roll Senate Bill 895 into Senate Bill 935 to list Senators Marsden and Lucas as chief co-patrons and report. I moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. Those bills are reported. Thank you very much. Next bill. Marsden only had one bill. Senator Favola, Senate Bill 811.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning. Good morning, members of the committee. This is a very straightforward bill. If you go to page 3 of the bill, starting with line 164 through 166, the only thing this bill does is it would direct the Department of Criminal Justice to actually ensure that de-escalation training is part of the training standards for basic training and recertification of law enforcement officers. I did have technical assistance from the Department of Criminal Justice. This is not a burden. They have the de-escalation training curricula already established, in several different forms. I really believe this is something that we should make a statement on. It's one of those things that would, I think, keep our police safer as well as our citizens. I can give you lots of reasons why, but I did hear your comments about request for brevity.
Let me just ask you one quick question. First of all, and I don't think anybody would disagree with the importance of teaching this. What I wonder about is if there are a lot of things that are taught by the academy, and we're not going to list them all. Do we already teach this? But is there a need for this?
Yes, there are de-escalation training modules taught. This would actually make it a more permanent part of the curriculum rather than sort of a, well, we think it's a good idea. But yes, there are de-escalation programs taught.
Right.
So I'm not asking them to, this is not a new burden, this doesn't have a financial impact. This is making a statement that this is important enough, you can't ever decide to take it out of your training curriculum. That's what this bill does.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to, it's not really a question, just make a statement, having gone to the police academy. Every incident that you role play and conduct throughout the academy is a de-escalation exercise to try to resolve either be it domestic or whatever the situation is. So, well, I think it's well intended, Senator Kibble. I think they already do it. This is just trying to tell those who are experts in the field, kind of piling it on. I think they already do that in our academies. I know they do that already in our academies.
Any other questions, Commissioner? Anybody wish to speak on this bill? I think we've got a technical correction, technical amendment.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. On line 166, after Little 2, I suggest using the language, ensure awareness of de-escalation. Strictly technical.
All right. Any objections?
Yeah.
Been moved and seconded. The amendment's been moved and seconded. Any discussion here? None. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The amendment's adopted. Aye. Is there a motion on the bill?
Move to report.
Second. Been moved and seconded that the bill be reported. Senator Norman.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to vote against the motion to report. I think it's certainly a laudable approach, but a couple of things. First of all, as we pointed out, portions of it are already included in the DCJS instruction supplement. I think this is redundancy. Local law enforcement agencies are doing that. There's also a program known as the Crisis Intervention Training, CIT, which gives a certificate, and this would create another program that would have a even more consistent certification, and I just think the redundancy of putting it in the code of Virginia is unnecessary. Mr. Chairman, I would make a substitute motion that the bill be passed by
Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. The bill be passed by indefinitely. Substitute motion. Any discussion? Hearing none. On the substitute motion of passing the bill by indefinitely, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
No.
Vote your noes, please. We'll call the roll.
Senator Sasloff.
No.
Senator Norman. Senator Howell.
No.
Senator Lucas. Senator Edwards. Senator McDougal. Senator Stewart. Senator Stanley. Senator Reeves. Senator Chapin. Senator Deeds. Senator Sturman. Senator Overstreet.
All right, well, on the motion, the primary motion, the substitute motion fails on 6-6 tie. On the primary motion of reporting, call roll.
Senator Sasloff.
Aye.
Senator Norman. Senator Howell.
Aye.
Senator Lucas.
Aye.
Senator Edwards. Senator McDougal. Senator Stewart.
No.
Senator Stanley. Senator Reeves. Senator Chapin. Senator Deeds. Senator Sturman. Senator Overstreet. 6 ayes, 6 noes.
Bill fails on tie vote, fails to report. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Senator Servell.
Senate Bill 817 is a very brief one.
I think maybe both of them are. Let's go with Senate Bill 817.
The Senate Bill 817 is a bill suggested to me by a judge. It basically says that a court can authorize a restricted license for purposes of getting a job interview. I had a judge who told me he had to convict somebody to get a job interview, and given the whole point of a restricted license is to keep people employed. He thought people ought to at least be able to try and get a job by using their restricted license, and that's the whole point of it. It's very simple.
My understanding is, just to give a little bit of historical perspective, maybe Senator Stewart introduced that same bill years ago. It sailed out of the Senate and was left to drift out to sea in a House committee.
Not surprising.
Any discussion, anybody wish to speak in favor of or in opposition to the bill? Hearing none, there's a motion to report, properly seconded, all in favor of reporting this fine bill, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? That bill reports. What's your next one?
Yeah, this one is going to, I'll try and be brief. It's kind of complicated, though.
We'll struggle to keep up.
So, this is a bill you all saw a version of last year. I had one version, Doug